Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of the Couch Co-op Podcast. I'm Riley, joined by Cal as always, and today we have a very special guest, our first guest, Skully. Welcome, man.
What up?
This is a very, very special episode, ladies and gentlemen. The three of us have all been friends for, what do you guys think it is? 5-ish years?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, 5. Yeah.
I think at least 5 because I know I've been friends with Riley a lot longer than you, Cal.
Right.
And then at some point, I think I was streaming World War II, and then you came into my chat, and I was like, "Hey, want to do or something like that?" But I know you caught me on one of the World War II streams.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
I was playing like the final rank, and you were just like,
Yeah.
"Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah.
A little sub for sub action.
Exactly. By the way, I'm rocking. Let me show you. My Call of
there it
Duty
is.
blowing their own brains out merch today. Metaphorically and literally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, today is also a special week for me because not just one poster fell down on its own behind me, but 2 did. So, yeah.
What are they? You know?
I know one of them is Mule Kick. I don't know what the other one is. So,
Probably Deadshot.
uh,
Deadshot's up. I see it.
oh yeah.
It would be ironic if PhD was the one that fell.
Yeah.
I think it's Phoenix up, but all right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this week has been a crazy week for Call of Duty drama. And just Activision just shooting themselves in the foot constantly. Now, what we're going to talk about in this episode, and I don't know about you guys, but me personally, I'm going to try my best to keep all my like personal opinions and like views and beliefs and whatnot out of the whole LGBT Pride Month debate, because I know if you say one thing, whether it's right or wrong in the right or wrong way, people will just twist and discombobulate it and just throw it in the crowd of madness that is the zoo of Twitter. So I'm just gonna, keep most of my views to myself, but I know that you were AMS about this, Cal. So I want to see what you have to say about this whole thing.
Oh my gosh, dude. I cannot like we said, crazy week, Call of Duty blowing their brains out. I thought it was really interesting that just last week they put out these operator bundles for creators. And they were like the creators of the Call of Duty community. They chose Nick Merckx and Tim the Tatman. And then, I agree. I think we should keep our own personal opinions out of it because ultimately, I mean, it doesn't really matter for what we're talking about today. But, things happened and Nick Merckx saw some troubling things. And, I don't even think what he said was that bad. On like a scale of like 1 to 10, I would put it at like a -2. All he said was leave kids out of it. And from what I saw, it was more talking about the protest. Like, don't let kids see this madness. Like, don't let kids see, people fighting in the streets. Like, that's what I think. I truly believe that's what he was talking about. And to go from that to pulling his bundle that fast, it's just wild to me, dude.
Yeah, like the whole protest or like fight or like literally like a street fight broke out because like between like parents of students, because like this like school district somewhere was holding a council meeting because they wanted to like determine whether they should include like Pride Month in their schools, elementary school by the way, and like the parents literally got in a street fight, so that's what he was commenting on. And yeah, it's like, and people are like making like all these comparisons, how like Call of Duty is so quick to shut down this guy for stating something that I think like something like wanting to leave the kids out of something like that. I think that's just common sense, especially that young in elementary school. And then people are like making fun of Call of Duty because they're so quick to like go after this guy Nick Merckx, but their game is still broken 7 or 8 months after release. So, yeah.
Yeah, like, and I don't want to take over. I don't want to take all the time here, but and I think maybe part of it was like leaving the pride stuff out of schools, because he did comment and say, "Look, I'm a father now, and I get it," but it could have easily gone for the protest or riot, whatever you want to call it. But I just think that leaving kids out of anything that I feel like as a parent, that's a pretty milquetoast thing you can say. Like, that's very like, look, let's leave kids out of all of it. I don't understand why that's controversial. Like, to me, that's the most like level one, like non-offensive thing that he could have said. Like, he could have said a lot more, personally. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. What are your thoughts, Scully?
To be honest, I try to stay out of like the drama on Twitter as much as I can. So like, I'm not like, don't get me wrong. It's not like I don't see it, because I do see it. Like, even if you don't want to see it, you're seeing shit happen all the time on Twitter. So it's not like you can avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. Activision is just like, Activision is a company. Is a very company.
Yeah.
when it comes to handling like these kinds of situations, because like I didn't even like the only reason why I knew about this, because like the other people in the Discord I'm in, they're like on Twitter going like, oh my god, like Nick Merckx is getting canceled, like not canceled, but his bundle's getting removed off of Modern Warfare 2, was it?
Yeah.
His bundle's on, because he said something along like in the LGBTQ that like was like crossing a line apparently in Activision's eyes or something like that. And then the one thing I saw was like Tim the Tatman was like, if you're gonna pull his bundle, you pull mine too. I thought that was a massive W.
Oh yeah,
massive Tim the Tatman W.
W Tim trending. So
yeah, I saw that.
I love seeing stuff like that. Bros coming together to fight the hate mob. Which by the way, the hate mob flows both ways, guys. It's not one way. And like, I was
double-sided sword.
Yeah, I was like tweeting about this, how like people are like, they go on Twitter, and especially in situations like this where it's such a touchy subject that nobody can win, and people just escalate on each side, up and up and up. And like, if you say what Nick Merckx said and you agree with it, now you're a homophobe and you hate everyone in the trans community. Or if you like, I think I messed it up, but like if you like disagree with like that, then you're like a chomo. I don't want to use the other word, but it's just it's like there's no gray area. It's either left or right. It's so mind-boggling to me that these people. I mean, it's Twitter, and there's a reason why I called it a zoo at the top of this, is because they're animals. So yeah, it's just no nuance or just like critical thought at all. I don't understand like that one bit.
Right. And I Scully, I think you're wise to stay out of it, because I normally, there was a couple of years there that I didn't touch Twitter, and I recently, starting to do this podcast, I feel like I've had to keep up on things a little more. And it really is, Twitter is, I mean, they call it the brain dead app for a reason. Like, people are so brain dead. They get on there and they just tweet and they just don't stop, and it kills me. I was watching through, I don't know if you guys have looked through the replies to any post Call of Duty has made, but it's great, dude. It's great. And it goes, like Riley said, it goes both ways. Like, there's no gray area. You're either, you're either a homophobe or you go the other way. I don't want to say it on here, but you guys both know what I said. Yeah. and there, no nuance. Like, there's no middle ground. Like, you can't just say, good for Nick for standing up what he believes for, and good for Call. No, it's one or the other. And it's, I think it's a shame that this political BS, that it has infected every aspect of our life. And I hate it. Like, I would say I keep up on politics as much as I have to know what's going on, but I hate it. Like, I absolutely hate it. It's always depressing. It's always about this person getting this person, or this person stabbing this person in the back, or we gotta score political points on this because, and and Activision, I would say, is one of the worst because in the Western world, I guess I could say, as they push pride in their games, and it's not just Call of Duty, it's Overwatch. Overwatch had like this pride map. I don't know all of it. I don't play the game, but I saw that, which I don't have a problem with. Do whatever you want. What I have a problem with is pushing it on a certain group of people and not pushing it in other countries. China, Saudi Arabia.
Oh boy. Oh no.
They can't have any of that there. And it's like, okay, so where do you stand, Activision? And this is what gets me fired up. Where do you stand? Do you stand with the people who are actually anti-homophobic and anti-pride, which are these other countries? You're perfectly happy to take their money, but you're not, you don't stand with them. If you don't stand with them all the way and you pull your game from that country because you say, look, this is what we believe in, I don't buy it. I think it's BS and I can't take it seriously.
Yeah. And like, I think that like the best comparison for this whole thing is that this literally happened to Activision Blizzard like a few years ago. There was this Overwatch tournament. No, it was League of Legends tournament. And this guy comes on and he's like, free Hong Kong, when that whole thing was going on. And then, he gets banned. The broadcasters get like terminated, I think. And then like, but Activision, whenever the BLM stuff goes on, they're like, Black Lives Matter. And then everyone is just free Hong Kong, free, yeah, they don't care. I seriously don't get it why they just like submit to like the hate mob on Twitter of all places, and then literally starting a war, in my opinion, like on the internet. It's like, it's just crazy to me.
Yeah, no, and this has already been said, but and it's so hateful and it's so visceral and it's so immediate too. Like I saw Tim the Tap Man before he told Call of Duty to pull his bundle. I don't know if you guys saw this. Yeah. He basically said, yeah, I talked to Nick Merckx. Like, I don't remember exactly what he said. I could pull it up, but it doesn't really matter. Basically, he said, I talked to Nick Merckx, and everyone was calling him out like, hey, like, he's your friend and you're not standing with him and all this stuff, and it was either like, good for Tim and not going along with Nick Merckx, or like, dang it, Tim, like, you should be going along with your friend. It's so visceral and it's so fast. Like, maybe he was always planning that and he had to talk to his agent or whoever because he didn't know the effect it would have like on his business, and like Riley said, there's no nuance. Like, it's either you're for X, Y, or Z, or you're against it, or you die now. And it just, it's not good. It's bad. It's really terrible.
Yeah. I feel like we could just take something that Activision has done in the past and just put it in today, and it's just, all of these situations are just like interchangeable. And like I've seen people bring up this and I do sort of agree with it, that people care more about this than they do about like when all of these like sexual assault allegations were going on, when that woman supposedly killed herself because for example, Dr. Disrespect uninstalled the game because they removed Nick's skin.
What we got to do is uninstall the game. Number one. I mean, don't get a mistake, this year's Call of Duty is the worst in its franchise. But that decision by COD's PR marketing team, I'll tell you right now, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough one to digest for the two-time. I feel like, A, they either need to apologize publicly to him or reinstate his bundle in order for me to consider playing Call of Duty again. That's where I'm at.
You can make as many wife jokes as you want, but I think that's like, a cool thing to do, whatever. will he reinstall the game? People know his history with uninstalling and reinstalling games, so I don't know, but yeah, it is somewhat concerning. I think people are just like fired up over this whole Pride Month thing that makes people more amped up about it than the sexual assault stuff from a year or so ago. I don't know. Depending on how you look at it, it's Activision is yet again a bad company. So
always have been, always will be.
Yeah.
And it couldn't happen to a nicer company. I'll just throw that in there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I you kind of touched on this earlier, but like Call of Duty, what did it take them? 24 hours to remove the skin? How many hackers have been going on these older games that they still charge full price for, by the way?
Yeah.
That still people's information that ruin people's computer, and they can brick systems now. Like they can completely ruin people's stuff on their IPs that they charge full price for. Yeah. Games that are over 10 years old, and they haven't lifted a finger. I guess they did do that, whatever that was in Black Ops 3 like 2 months ago, that didn't change anything. What a joke. But but you better not say a thing about the month that we're in, or we will take you down just like that. It just, like I said, I would take it more I would take them more seriously if they took it seriously themselves. What about these other countries? And I don't mean to go down a rabbit hole, but the same thing happened with the Marvel movies, or with Star Wars The Force Awakens. China took the poster for the movie, and they took, what's his name? I am so bad at
they
names.
made him like so much smaller in like the Chinese version.
They shrink him down in the Chinese version and put him in the background because he's an African American male. Yeah. And they don't like that there. They take him from what he was, part of the main part of the poster, and they shrink him down. And these are terrible practices that we, as American, or not American, but US based or Western countries, however you want to say it, we're feeding into that. You talk about fighting hate and fighting racism and all this stuff. Well, you're feeding into it by pushing your stuff onto these markets, and you're bending the knee to them by allowing them to dictate to you what you can have in the movies and in the posters. And I think it's despicable. I can't stand any of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so like where this whole thing is at now is that like which by the way, Call of Duty as always is like just not in touch. They're like, so like Tim the Tap Man requested that his bundle be removed, and then like Call of Duty or Activision didn't even tweet this. Like Modern Warzone, as far as I know, was the one who had to tweet this. Is that like, quote, this Activision rep from however they obtained this information told us that, at Tim's request we're gonna remove it. So as always, Activision's and the developers, like, communication is never ever like working well. So yeah, no surprise there, but just thought I'd nail that in.
Sorry, Skully, you can jump in whenever. We're
Yeah.
pretty. I swear every episode we have another Activision piece of dirt to talk about, and they just keep feeding us, man. Like we don't want to talk about it, but they just keep feeding us more ammo.
Yeah.
I saw someone, I think it was Mr. T-Lexify, I could be wrong, comment on Tim's post, and it had at that time over 200,000 likes. And they said this is the most likes anything from the Call of Duty community has gotten since Zombie Chronicles. Like, this is huge. If you look at the normal Call of Duty posts, they maybe get like 3,000 to 6,000 likes and like 1,000 comments. But I think their last 3 or 4 recent posts have been like close to 1,000 likes and like 5,000 to 8,000 comments. Just people roasting them, and it's great. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, you wonder why, because they took out all the BO clients that made Call of Duty safe to play, and then everybody's like on their ass for it, and I can't blame them, because Activision is just ceasing and desisting everybody that's like basically copying their game, but it's safer to play. As like, what do you want the community to do? like Cold War now is unsafe to play. It's like it's completely like you cannot play Cold War at all on any console or PC. It's just like Activision needs to get their shit together, and that Microsoft Activision deal needs to go through as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just not to trample over what you're saying, Skully, but just to go back to the whole like statistics here, I have Call of Duty's Twitter pulled up, right? All right. Season 4 reveal trailer, 5,100 likes, 5,000 replies. The battle pass, of course, everyone is hyped for the battle pass. So much so, there's 1,000 more comments than there are likes on the post. Let's see. Yeah, 6,000 comments, 2,000 likes. Jeez. Yeah, people are just nailing Call of Duty right now. And yeah, this whole cease and desist stuff, that's kind of what like started it like for us like on the podcast, I think, is that like it's just they're just trying to funnel people into this game that they're making that people just aren't liking really. Like I personally like the gameplay. Like the gameplay is fine in Modern Warfare 2, but there's not much to do besides go for camos and buy bundles. So I don't play it.
Yeah, you take that back. They have a new bundle in there for you to buy every day.
Which
it only costs like $24.
Oh boy.
They can take their bundle and shove it up their ass.
Which
that's another thing I've seen a couple of people posting on Twitter like, I have the rarest skin in Call of Duty right now, and it's the Nick Merck skin. And the second one is Tim's.
Which by the way, we are never seeing creator skins ever again. Just gonna say that.
After this fiasco, not a chance.
Yeah.
Which, like, from a creator standpoint is kind of a disappointment, but it makes so much sense from a PR standpoint. Like, I bet they never, ever imagined the bloodbath they were walking into. Like, they never would have gone down this path. And you can't foresee it. And I think that's, getting back to the visceral reaction of everybody. Either you're for it or you hate it. Like, that was a wild thing to happen for such a little thing said. It was less than 10 words. It was less than 5 words. And, it's wild.
Yeah.
But it's good. Like, I think, we have been calling here on the Couch Co-op for a boycott of Call of Duty for at least, what are we on? Is this
6?
Episode 6?
Yep.
Yeah. For 5 episodes, and it's finally happening, and I love it. I love every second of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I think that's pretty much the height of that situation for now. Anyway, it seems to be escalating every single day. So,
hey, you might have new shit to talk about next week too.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, we have a lot to talk about this episode, by the way, because. And
do you mean Activision talking about Activision wasn't enough?
Man, we can make a whole series.
Keep going.
I mean, we're just going to get ceased and desisted anyway.
Yeah.
Well, before we change the subject, do you guys think this will carry over to the next game, since there is going to be a COD 2023?
I'll just say this now: I am not buying the next Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
Like, there's even if I wanted to buy it, we got nothing for the next Call of Duty game.
Okay, but let me throw something in here. What if Zombie Chronicles 2.0 is included?
Still not buying it.
It won't happen. We don't got to worry about it. But
I mean, like, Sledgehammer is making it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Their track record for zombies are lackluster at best.
Oh, all right. I just had to throw that in there.
I mean, I will say, like, their best zombies was World War II zombies, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that X-Defiant will maybe not take over, but it might just like be like right there with Call of Duty next year. Because I mean, like, good lord, like, no matter how you feel about Sledgehammer games, they don't do well, like, at all, really. So, I mean, I think that, which again, like we talked about last time with X-Defiant, I don't think that there's a a release date, but if they come out at like the same time generally as the next Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3 supposedly, there's no better time. It's just shove it into Activision as much as you can, and if they release then, that would be perfect, just perfect. So I hope that they do that. No, I will not be buying Modern Warfare 3. I'm
Also, I'd like to point out too that plutonium is the only thing left for people to play on safe Call of Duties.
It's really sad. I mean, it's awesome for plutonium, but it's sad. Sorry, I interrupted. Keep going.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I'm in Discord with a lot of other people. Justin, Justin Time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a group with those guys, and we play Black Ops 2 Plutonium from time to time because it's a lot better than just standard Black Ops 2 because there's actually people take the time to mod the game and add new different things and stuff like that. But we've all said if for some reason they decide to cease and desist Plutonium, we're never playing Black Ops 2 because there's no real reason to play it because everything is just basic and it's I guess what I'm just trying to say is if Plutonium gets shut down, I don't think I'll be playing Call of Duty anymore. That's basically the bottom line.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I think it's great. I think that we as gamers, as the Call of Duty community, need to hold Activision's feet to the fire and not buy the next game. Show them with our wallet that we're sick of their crap and we want an actual game, and we want an actual zombies mode.
And a stable game that won't expose my IP just for playing, just for loading up the damn game.
And I would love nothing more than to see only 20,000 or 50,000 people buy the game. Can you imagine how bad that would hurt if people just actually boycott? If people stick to it, people won't, but I hope that people will. Mm-hmm. Us three, I think, will here. There's no reason to buy it.
I mean, I didn't even buy Modern Warfare 2. I can't stand newer Call of Duties anymore.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing different. Okay, there's slight differences than Modern Warfare. There's no, unless you care about the campaign, which I think was okay, but there's no reason to.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the best newer Call of Duty was Cold War, but now you can't even play it anyway. So
it's almost like a conspiracy theory that we are talking about, right? It's almost like Activision's doing this to their own games, but
it's not a conspiracy theory if you actually know what's going on.
That's true.
And to kind of touch on the newer Call of Duties losing their flavor. Warzone actually removed the 2.0 in their name now. So now it's just called Warzone instead of Warzone 2.0 because they realize how bad they messed up. I mean, come on. It's not even half the game of what Warzone 1 was. So
I'm still not downloading it.
Yeah. No, me neither, man. It's massive. So is Modern Warfare 2. It's a massive game. It's so big. Don't take that out of context. It's just part of me is sick of talking about Activision, but part of me also loves dogging on them because they deserve it. But yeah, so we'll those are my final thoughts on the Activision stuff.
Yeah, same. I could keep going, but what more could I say?
Yeah, so. I wanted to touch on School Basher because obviously you are our guest, so we are going to use you as much as we can. We know I
figured I was going to get milked at some point. Didn't figure it would be now.
So, I know you in our little friend group as the ghosts and the paranormal guy. So I wanted to hear more about your relationship to the paranormal and ghosts and stuff like that.
Okay, so I'm gonna be really honest. I have like everything that I have experienced is kind of just like it's kind of like one off, you know? Like it's like how do I explain it? It's like one thing will happen and it won't happen again. And I'm like, was that really paranormal or not? But like there's times where it's like, how did that happen? Like, there's no possible way for it to happen.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can like reshare some of my like things that I've had happen to me. It's like you guys, it's like people want to hear them if you guys want.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, please do.
All right, so I'd say like the most like shocking thing, or like the most, I'd say like just unusual thing that happened. This was like years ago, like back when I was like still in school, so like a long time ago. And I was at my mom's house at the time, and there's like 3 floors, so like the basement, middle, and then like the upper bedroom part. And I was in my bedroom. My sister was in her bedroom. I don't know where my dog was, but I think he was either in with me or my sister. But like we had a dog at the time. And all of a sudden, I just heard this loud thud, like on the steps. It was like loud, like extremely loud.
Yeah.
So I got up and like I saw a painting at the bottom of the steps, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I go down and like obviously like I'm not going to be like, oh my god, that's a fucking ghost right away. Like no one does that. No one does that if they're like they got common sense. So basically, I just try to like figure out, okay, like what could have possibly happened. The hook could have came out. The freaking thing on the back could have popped off and meets a new one. Whatever the case may be, right? So I'm just examining it, and the nail is still on the wall. The thing that on the back is still on the thing. It's like it's not broken, and like the only way for it to come off is if like you lift it up and then put it away from the hook. So it's like you like it's like that. The painting had to have lifted up and then fallen over. You can't take it off any other way. So like that was pretty intense. But like I said, it's unclear to me what really happened. But like all I know is like that just shouldn't have happened. But like I still believe in like the paranormals and stuff. Like I don't see a reason why not to believe it, if I'm being honest, because like, I do watch a lot of ghost hunting shows, and like I know like it's all there's like TV and stuff like that, but like they're really interesting, and sometimes I find it hard to believe that they're faking it. You know what I mean? Like, there's just some parts where it's like, yeah, he could have faked it, but how though? Like how like the lengths you got to go to fake something like that is almost. It's almost like you got to be a master of like CGI and like pulling rigs and stuff like that. And I don't know, but like I watch a lot of ghost hunting YouTubers because I feel like they're like more genuine with the paranormal exploration, and genuinely like they're only like 3 guys max, so they're like not a big film crew. So it makes it more believable, and honestly I can't even like the evidence they capture is usually pretty good too.
Is there like a ridiculous like experience on a TV show, on like a ghost TV show that like sticks out as one that, and you're like, oh, nah, no way, man, that's totally fake. Ain't no way that woman rose from her bed, did a backflip, and now she's gone?
Literally all of the scary movies. I like. Obviously, I think like the big ones that can be easily like debunked are like the voices, because it could easily be something else.
Yeah.
Like it could be easily some just like whispering, like unknowingly that they're whispering. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like just like in that moment, it's like or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I feel like if you're going to fake it, visual anomalies are like the hardest thing to fake, because you either like the idea is like you have the cameras lined up perfectly, like there's like it's in a clear view. It's that cliche of it's in a line of sight, you can see everything, but yeah, there's some things that can be explained, but it's like for me, some things are just like there's no way to not unhear or see that, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know how you guys feel about like the paranormal and stuff, but like or the spirits or.
Well, I have one or two, like I have like three kind of like small things that are just kind of like stupid, like two of them are, but yeah, when I was like, I don't know, maybe just a little kid, 5'4", 5'6", somewhere around there. And I don't remember this, but apparently my mom told me that I told her that I saw like one of my like older family members that had passed away, like on the floor playing with my toys, and like I had like told her about that, like, hey, there's great grandpa down there, and she's like, there's no one there, you know, but I don't remember that, but yeah, apparently that happened. And then in like elementary school, third, fourth grade, I went over to a friend's house who actually lived right across the street from the elementary school. And the elementary school is like, wow, it's like 110 years old now. But like at that time, it was well, it still is. The town that's in is kind of like a ghost town in a way. There's like coke ovens and like rail car races, and one lady died one year, and you know, just a bunch of like creepy history with that place. And one time I was at my friend's house for his birthday, and we're like running toward the school to use the playground in the back. And we're like peeking through the we're like peeking through the windows of the school, and we see this chair like fly across the hallway, and you know it's closed, it's on the weekend, it's way after hours, it's like 5 or 6 p.m. Like, why would anyone be there? So we're like, that's a ghost. So yeah, there it is. And then when we go back home, you know what, I'm gonna actually include this part. So my my friend had to use the bathroom, the birthday boy, so to speak. So he had to use the bathroom, but his parents had left and like locked the house. So what do? You grab a pile of leaves and you go in the front of the school behind the bushes, and you take a number 2 right there in front of the school. So that's what he did. They had like these like big like concrete like burials almost, like right in front of the school, like in between like the school and the bushes. There's like these big pits, and he like took a dump right there in those pits, and then yeah, there it is. So anyway, later on during the night, we're back at his house, and we're watching, I think it was like the Green Hornet with Seth Rogen, and then somehow the fridge just like opens up on its own, and we're all like, keep watching my movie, gonna ignore that. So so yeah, that those are probably like the most like close to paranormal experiences, I would say. Maybe there's like one or two other like small ones that have happened that I can't think of, but those are the ones that come to mind. As far as like if I like believe in it, I don't know. I believe that there's like some kind of like energy that people have and like leave behind if they pass on, and that like a chill and like a warm day, that's like I think that like a chill, like for me personally, is like a double meaning for like ghost. So like, I mean, that's just kind of how I feel about it. It doesn't really like matter to me if like they are like real or not, but that'd be cool if ghosts or the paranormal like being is. So yeah.
Yeah, so I personally have never had a paranormal experience, but so background, I grew up very small Christian community, everyone went to church, all that stuff. So I think at a certain level, if you believe part of, Christianity and, God, and you have to believe in the inverse, you have to believe in the devil, you have to believe in, when people pass on, there is some, call it an ethereal spirit that passes on to, the next world or heaven or hell or however you want to say it, purgatory, however you want to say it. So I would say personally for me, I do believe part of it. I believe that there has, believing in God as I do, you have to believe in the other part of it. I don't think there's any way to separate the two of them. I think that's stupid to try to say, there's a God, but there's not ghosts and devils. And, but what I will say is I think there's a certain point of, everything in our culture that's been bastardized down to a horror movie, a horror flick, or ghosts, or, possessions, or like, the, like Riley was talking about, a lady flipping in the air being possessed by, a demon or a devil. So I would say, like, I think that at base level, yes, it's true. I don't know to what point, if you want to call them ghosts or spirits, or I think it's probably more likely that, they're spirits, and maybe there's times where these spirits can be vengeful spirits and reach through call it a veil or whatever you want to call it, and maybe cause disturbances. I personally have never had that, but my mom, who is a very Christian person, I remember as a young kid, her telling me, I don't remember the context. Maybe I'll ask her, but I remember her saying specifically, like, I hear things, or like I feel a presence, and I think she was asking me if I felt it too, if I remember right. And and I didn't think too much of it as a kid, because it's just something like, well, okay, but I've reflected on that, and I guess this is a question I will open up to you two is, well, do you think that it's right place, right time, or do you think certain people are more likely, or maybe more receptive to a spirit or a ghost? Because from my experience, I have never seen that, but I've been around, my mom and a couple of other people in my life that have. I think that certain people are more, closer to spirits, or, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I was just wondering what you guys thought.
Yeah, I would agree with that actually, because my mom is very much the same way. How she gets like energy from different people, and then that energy actually does come to fruition when they act a fool or whatever later on, and then she's like, "See, I knew it. So yeah, just like stuff like that. But and like my grandma's kind of the same way too. So yeah, I think that like that kind of stuff just kind of goes to certain people. Why it seems to mostly be women, I don't know, but that's just how I see it.
We're too busy arguing about Call of Duty. That's why.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, for me, I'm not like spiritually in tune like that. Like I'm not being like, oh, I can see dead people everywhere, every waking moment of my life. No, but like I do think like some of it is like you got to be in the right place at the right time. And I mean, like, look at like Alcatraz. It's like reportedly one of the most haunted buildings, like one of the most haunted prisons in America, based on just like what went on, like the amount of energy that every person in that prison had, including the guards. And it's just like, you go like no one just goes to Alcatraz. You do gotta like take a tour there too. So it's like I feel like if you go to any like well-known haunted places or places that people say, oh, like I don't know if you heard about this one, but like the Waverly Hills Sanatorium is like it's like a tuberculosis hospital, and apparently it's like one of the most haunted places in the world, basically, and a lot of shit goes on down there. But I can't say it because I haven't been there. I can only just go on what my experiences are.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Like I said, I think like 90% of it, 90% of our perception is what we've seen in movies. I think, if you're focused on something, you might, you're going to feel this way, or you're going to see that. That's my personal opinion. Having not had such an experience, I mean, maybe there's things, but, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, like, personally, again, I don't know, like, to what extent a lot of this has been, like, passed on, like, folklore, for instance. I was watching this video about, about skinwalkers the other day. And, that's a whole nother rabbit hole we could go down another time. But what they were saying is, part of the theory behind them was by the adults telling children to not act out and to stay close and, not to do all this stuff. Well, that's okay, but like, why are we still talking about them? If it was truly just folklore, why are we still talking about them 200 years later? Like, I think there's something there. And like, Skully, getting back to what you were saying, I don't think everyone can fake it. Like, I don't think every YouTube channel, I don't think every TV show, that's a lot of work to go to. You could make easier content than going through all these visual effects, and like, unless you're purposely just trying to trick people, like, I think that's a lot of work to go to for a little bit of money, or a lot of money, but
I mean, like, even if you're just trying to trick people too, like what you said, like, if you were going to fake a video like that, the amount of effort you have to like stage everything perfectly, so that when 15 minutes rolls around and there's supposed to be something happening there, like, what button to press or what string to pull, but like, no one, like, in that moment, you're like, no one's going to be thinking about that if you're in that moment. You know what I mean? Like, no one's going to be thinking, oh, you're pressing a button or you're pulling a string. You're just watching the video.
Yeah. I would compare that mindset that you're talking about, Cal, where everyone's in on it, to the flat Earth, because a lot of those people think that, like, NASA's in on it, the military is in on it. Everyone's your enemy. Everyone.
What do you think about this guy?
Oh God, Dave Nye, the Lion guy.
So
transition 100.
Yeah. So
Skyrim leveling up.
Yeah. I feel like, going along with the flat Earth thing, like, it's just so much work. Like, the government's in on it. Like, this person's in on it. This mother, they're turning the frogs gay. All those, we've talked about Alex Jones on here at length, but it's so much to go through, and you'd have to truly believe that they lock it down so well, because look at, the last couple of presidencies we've had in the United States. Like, there's so many leaks from the Pentagon, the White House, and like all these things. It's like, there's no way. I'm sorry, but there's no way. And maybe, and I don't know. I don't want to get off on a tangent because I can, but I just, I truly believe there's something to it, to paranormal activity. Yeah.
I do think though, like, there's a time, like, you got to be at the right time at the right place, because unless you're in tune to that stuff, like, it's like, you have to be like, your timing has to be like perfect to witness it. And I still do believe in like the spirits and stuff, but like, I don't know, it's just a lot of work to go to just to see some shit fly across the room.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of somewhat bridging topics here. One thing that I actually do believe in, that is like aliens. Like definitely aliens. Like I haven't seen the new season that they're going through now, season 4, but I've watched seasons 1 through 3 of Skinwalker Ranch, and in that show, just it seems so real to me. Like, good Lord, you can watch these like Finding Bigfoot shows from like years ago, and there'll be like, did you guys hear that knock? Oh my, they're there. Look, like
every ghost hunting show ever.
Yeah. So
did you hear that? What's that?
Yeah. So yeah, I think that in terms of like compelling evidence, I think that as far as like the shows that I've seen and just things in general, is like Skinwalker Ranch is just like impeccable, I think. Yeah, it's just amazing. Like they see stuff not like every week, but like they see like the same stuff like sometimes over and over again. But that's kind of like part of the mystery, and I think that Skinwalker Ranch is one of those.
Sorry.
What's up, Skully?
I got Discord notifications popping up, and I just saw the name of one of the people that just changed their names, and it's hilarious.
But yeah, Skinwalker Ranch is a great show, and I do believe that aliens exist.
I mean, like, they're coming out with alien footage now.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys heard about that?
Yeah.
Apparently, some dudes, like, apparently it was like a whistleblower or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a whistleblower, but it's definitely interesting to see that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that's enough.
I mean, like, if you're gonna believe something, like at this point between Ghost and aliens, seeing the alien footage, I think you'd be more inclined to believe aliens at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. Oh man, we're gonna have to go down this topic on another episode because we could go for a long time. But yeah, that goes back to my other point with like spirits and stuff. Like or the flat Earth rather, you'd have to believe like so many conspiracies all in one that it's being faked. Like there's too many things, or like Area 51, Roswell, all these things. Like that's a lot of work to go through for a government to just. I don't know what the goal is. I know people speculate on it all the time, but like. What's the gain there? I don't know.
Me either.
I'm just going to say that the closest we got to Area 51 was Area 51 on Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Groom Lake. Yeah, and there's that. I think it was in Las Vegas. I could be wrong, but supposedly people saw like an 8-foot being, and they stood. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
I haven't.
These this like couple in L.A. I think like
was
8,
LA?
yeah, like 8-10 foot like just like creatures like crash landed in their backyard. And
when was this?
Like no more than a week ago.
Yeah, it was like last week.
Really?
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, and like they like went to call the cops, and then like it was gone or something, and then the cops come by, and like apparently they're gonna release the full like body cam footage or something. I don't know if they have already, but last I heard that's what they're gonna do. But yeah, and then there was like, of course, like black SUVs driving around their housing track or whatever. So yeah, that's all this like alien stuff is just so interesting to me. I love it, absolutely love it.
Yeah. No, me too. And that's, kind of what I was touching on. It's either like it's true or it's not, because I don't see there being any in between, because it's either true and there are other beings out there visiting Earth, and I've heard the argument like, what would they want with us? Like we're just, we're basically like space monkeys to them. Like they're so far advanced and like, what, okay, that's valid, I guess. But what, that's what they do. They explore, like they go and they cultivate other worlds. Maybe they put us here. I don't know. But and the inverse of that is that the government is faking all of this stuff just to cover up the fact that they have super advanced, aircraft. Like that's a lot of work to go to, man. Like, and I guess it's possible, the lengths that the governments would go to, but then it's all the governments, and why, like, when something is, why is it, maybe I just am unaware, but why is most of this happening over the United States, and I guess that's a good point. Like, maybe it's the United States that's a hot spot, Area 51, but, I just feel like there's so many, it's so, like, one directional down a road that you have to go down to get in that, to arrive at that destination, that the government's faking all this. None of it's true. Like, these people are just like, what about these people? Did they pay these people to say this? Like, there's thousands of people that claim they see it, and you can probably only believe like 10 or 20 of them because a lot of people want the fame that comes with it. But it's, I believe it. I don't know, like, I don't know how you arrive at the other spot, the other end of the spectrum, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always on the opinion you gotta see it to believe it. So I mean, it's not like you can't believe it or like you shouldn't believe it or like you have to believe it, but it's like until I can see it with my own eyes off of a video, like not on a video, like actually see, like, holy fuck, this 10-foot whatever it is alien, like, I don't know what did they describe it as? What?
Like a. You know what? Let me look that up. Actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just remember seeing like an 8-foot creature or something like that.
I actually did see somewhat of a let's see here. No.
Slender man looking ass, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
10 foot tall motherfucker.
Yeah.
But like, unless you see it with your own eyes, like, it's just you can't. There's like no satisfaction in believing one side or the other, because how are you supposed to know if it's real without seeing it for yourself?
Here's some quotes from the LA Times. So, around 11:50 p.m. on April 30th, body camera footage from an officer with the Las Vegas Police Department showed a glowing object cutting through the sky. About 40 minutes later, a local resident placed a 911 call to report that something, 100% not human, in quotes, was staring at him from his backyard shortly after he and his family saw an object fall from the sky, the station reported. Quote, there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside us, and it has big eyes, and it's looking at us, and it's still there, end quote. The caller, who said that he and his family had seen something from the sky, had told the dispatcher, obtain the body cam from footage. I'll have to put that in. So there's 2 people, 2 subjects in the backyard, correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot. They look like alien stuff with big eyes. They have big eyes, like, I can't explain it, and a big mouth. They're shiny eyes and they're human. They're 100% not human. Yeah, that kind of goes on, but it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, you just gotta see it to believe it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one of those things. I feel like, to a certain degree, and maybe this is hyperbolic of me to say, but at a certain degree, if you're looking at the two of them, and I think you made the comparison earlier, Skully, like, if, this is something we could actually see, like, prove, where maybe we'll have technology that can actually show us spirits and, demons or whatever you want to call them. But, what's your guys' opinion? Are we going to see in our lifetimes, are we going to actually discover an alien race?
Honestly, I hope so. I hope so, because it would be nice to know, like, we're not just, like, there's more, like, life beings out there and not just us, you know what I mean? I mean how, like, aliens in movies are like cool as shit too. I mean, like any alien movie has like a badass alien in it anyway. So it's like,
oh yeah, they barge in here and destroy our planet and kill the entire civilizations. You know, cool aliens.
xenomorphs, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think that we will, but I think that they will see us, and whether they want to interact with us, that's up to them. I think that obviously they've already seen us. I think there's way too many reports in human history in general for there not to be any, and when I say I don't think we will see any, as in like, how long has Elon said that we're going to go to Mars now? Like, we're not going anywhere, at least in my lifetime, I don't think. And
yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think that we are going to, like, you know, seek it out and discover it like we've seeked out and discovered things on our own planet here. I think that they're going to come to us, if anything.
Yeah, no, I would say I think that's pretty accurate. Like, the only other thing I will say about it before we move on is there's theories about, like, because apparently, and to what I know, they didn't start seeing things, you know, beings or UFOs or whatever, until around the time of World War II. Well, what also happened at the end of World War II? Well, we set off a nuke or two. Was it two? I think it was two. We set off some nukes. You know, we have this really crazy technology that, you know, like I said earlier, we're basically space chimps to them. Like, we don't know anything. But they now have this technology that we should probably keep an eye on them. Like, maybe they're actually, you know, going to go somewhere in the next 3,000 or 4,000 years. Yeah. You know, and I think that is, you know, at least a slight validation to, well, maybe there's something out there, and, you know, like Riley said, they're at least watching us. They're at least, like, kind of monitoring us, seeing what we're doing. You know, and the other, you know, to play devil's advocate, you know, it could just be that that's when the technology for the United States to develop these spacecrafts was also developed. You know, I think, you know, it really can go both ways. I think it's a lot of work to go through to just hide some of your technology, especially with satellites and, you know, everything. You know, balloons from China that just go over the entire country. You know, I think it's a lot of work, but but again, if you can get the entire population to believe in it, you know, cool. Like, you've got some easy cover there for your technology. But anyways,
well, what other topics do you have in mind for us, Cal?
You know, I sent this one to you on Twitter. The Barbie movie being saved. Because did you see who was wanting to be the star of the Barbie movie?
Amy Schumer.
Which, like, I mean, I don't have any personal beef with her. I think she kind of destroys anything that she touches. Like, I don't think she's a funny person. I think that she, you know, the only comedy specials I've seen of her are just her making, you know, jokes about her body and the female body, and it's not funny. Like, I just don't think she's a funny person. So, I will say thank the Lord that what is it? Is it Margot Robbie? Is that how you say her name?
Margot. I'm not sure, but
yeah. You know, like, whoever, like, good, like that. But I just think that crisis averted, because that would be the biggest dumpster fire. You know, it could be a great movie, but with Amy Schumer as the Barbie, like, I don't see it.
Yeah. So if Amy Schumer was Barbie, who would be like the guy, like the Ken, like the 1-to-1 with Amy Schumer? Who would you put instead of Ryan Gosling?
A dumpster.
Honestly, I feel like if we're going down, like, people who just join a franchise and ruin them, like Amy Schumer, I think you got to put The Rock in there.
I was just thinking that.
Really?
You got to put The Rock in there.
Really?
Maybe Vin Diesel, I think, is my pick.
Maybe Vin Diesel. On a serious note, I don't know. I hadn't thought about that. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have to go with Vin Diesel, especially after hearing all of his behind-the-scenes drama in the Fast and Furious movies. So, and like,
You want to comment on that? I'm not sure I know about all that.
so like from what I know, he like one of the directors left because like Vin Diesel was supposedly like late to set every day, and like just changing up a bunch of stuff like on the spot in like the script and all that, and like The Rock and like Jason Statham does this too, where apparently in their contracts they have it written out where they literally cannot lose a fight on screen in any of their movies.
Yeah.
So that's a bitch made stuff to me, but that's just my opinion.
So Skully, you sounded kind of surprised when I said The Rock there. Are you The Rock? Are you a big fan of The Rock?
Honestly, I didn't like. Honestly, I was surprised you thought he was like on the same level as Amy. Who was it? Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer, yeah.
Honestly,
I mean, I was more joking about how he kind of will just join a franchise and it kind of just he kind of destroys it and leaves everything in his wake in flames. But yeah.
I mean, like all the movies that I've seen The Rock in were pretty decent films. I mean, so like I can't really say anything bad about like him being in the movies because like I enjoyed like most of them.
Yeah. No, the only thing I've seen, which I have to like, after seeing it, I had to like, okay, I guess that's true, is that he essentially plays the same character in every movie he plays in.
Yeah.
Like he is The Rock in every movie. Like he's not actually playing a character. He's playing The Rock in Escape to Witch Mountain, or he's playing The Rock in Fast 10 or whatever. I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's the only like real criticism. I don't have a problem with The Rock. I like The Rock.
Yeah.
But that is like some genuine criticism I've seen is like after seeing it, I was like, I guess that's kind of true. Like he wears like the same outfit, like in every one. It's like a white t-shirt with like grayish pants or like greenish pants. And it's like it kind of like Vin Diesel. Like Vin Diesel does the same thing with his white tank top.
Mm-hmm. Or no shirt at all, of course.
Or no shirt. Yeah. No, I have no hate for The Rock. That was more just an inside joke, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that like another like thing that I kind of like dislike with some actors is that like seemingly like they'll try to get like all of their buddies in on like all of their movies. Like for example, I just watched Hobbs and Shaw, the Fast and Furious spinoff, for the first time, and I'm like, wait. Ryan Reynolds and who's that little black guy he's always acting with? What's his name?
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin Hart. And like, of course they're in it, but they're always in movies together. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. And it's like the same thing that you're saying, right? Like, I think that Ryan Reynolds is like cool as Deadpool or whatever, but pretty much every character to Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. So. And same with like Kevin Hart, you know, they kind of all play the same character every time. Which I mean, you know, if you like that, whatever. I think that they're funny, but you know, it just kind of gets a bit monotonous for me personally when you see it all the time. But yeah,
right. And I don't even think that's saying like they're bad actors.
Yeah.
Like in general, I just think that they don't have like a huge like range of their acting. Like I would say a really underrated actor that I would say, and I'm probably biased because I've always liked him since watching him in Batman Begins and I'm watching him in Peaky Blinders, is Cillian Murphy. Like I think he has so much range and so much potential as an actor. Like he just like is so good. Like you believe everything he does. And I think that there's you know, he's next level over some of these other people where, you know, I'll just say The Rock because we've already talked about him, is you're just watching The Rock like punch people and, you know, he can't lose a fight and he has to be like the biggest guy, you know, in the scene and like all this stuff. Like they frame him bigger than everyone else. They do it for a reason because that's what he wants. But no, like I think that I'm not saying they're bad actors, because I think that, you know, every actor in every movie has a place to fill, and sometimes you just need Kevin Hart in a movie. You know, sometimes you need you know, Kevin James. You know, you need these people like for these movies. But I think like if you personally, I would say Cillian Murphy is one of the most talented actors, you know, ever on screen.
Yeah, and I'm like super happy that he's finally going to get like the lead role in the movie now in Oppenheimer. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that one will be crazy. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know until recently that he had applied for the role of Batman in Batman Begins, and he lost out to Christian Bale. I didn't know that. But I don't know. Do you guys see him as Batman?
No, not at all. No.
Oh, and Riley, maybe this isn't the right time. Well, no, I'm going to do it on another episode, because I don't want to take up a time with it. I'll do it on another episode.
Okay.
It's related to Cillian Murphy, though, but yeah.
Okay. No, like my thing with like Cillian Murphy is like after like watching him in like Peaky Blinders, I think that he's just not the right character for Batman or Bruce Wayne. I think that Peaky Blinders is definitely my favorite performance out of him, though. Which, by the way, how far are you into that?
So I finished season 5, and you were right. The last episode is mind blowing, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen it, Skully? Have you watched Peaky Blinders?
No.
Okay, I won't say anything else then. But I don't want to ruin it.
Well, so another thing that I think me and Cal kind of tossed around a bit is Twitch. They kind of screwed with us, and then, you know, they had us in the first half, and then they reverted everything. But, you know, if you want to go through that first part, we can do that. They they laid out all of these like TOS terms of service changes,
right.
and then they reverted it all when a bunch of streamers said that they were going to leave the platform. So
that's right. Okay, so yeah, pardon me, because I was really spacing there. But yeah, they basically, what they've done is they've made their platform, if they stand by it, and I guess YouTube also has similar terms of service. They don't enforce them though, but they've made their platform very unfriendly for pretty much any middle to larger, any streamer big enough to have an actual sponsorship. This really only affects probably like the top 10 to 15% of the actual streamers, I would guess. I mean, I don't know the numbers. I know like 95% of the streamers that stream only have like less than 10 people watching. So I know it's not a huge number it affects, but yeah, so they can only have, there's very certain specifications that their sponsors have to meet. And like I was watching a Moist Critical video, and he made the point of like any tournament, like a Smash tournament, is 100% sponsored by, you know, G Fuel or whoever it is. I know it's not G Fuel, but they required you to run a banner, and like that's very against Twitch terms of service. And so that's kind of the gist of it. But what are your thoughts on all that, Scully?
I don't know, because like I'm definitely not at the level to have a sponsor on my channel, nor am I in the top 10% of the streaming population there. But I do think it's kind of fucked that you can't sponsor your like own shit, that like companies willingly came to you and like, hey, we would love to sponsor you on Twitch, but Twitch is like, you can't have more than 3% of the fucking logo on your screen at all times, and you can't have it burned into your streams. The only thing that you can have is like the fucking watermark or the logo of the company, and then like the products in the background. Like that's like the only thing that they're allowing, basically. And I think, honestly, I made a Kick account, so I'm already on Kick. So I'm not like I haven't streamed there yet, but like as soon as Streamlabs or whatever streaming software opens up for Kick, I'm going to Kick.
I saw this.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Riley.
I saw this one meme where this like woman was like making a joke out of it, where she pulled up her big green screen behind her, and it's just a big advertisement for something. So I guess she found the loophole around it, but yeah, go ahead.
That's great. No, I was just going to say, Skully, you answered my next question, is when are we going to see and I guess I have another question. Is it Skullbasher 935 at Kick?
It is still Skullbasher 935. Okay.
Yeah, when are we going to see the first Skullbasher stream over on Kick?
Whenever I figure out which streaming software to use.
Is it not very friendly as far as like OBS or whatnot?
Like I tried to mess around with like the OBS Streamlabs because that's what I have for like streaming, but like there's like no option for it, and I'm not sure like what kind of like other streaming services are like accepting it, and I don't want to like kind of like go onto something new, and then all of a sudden Streamlabs gets the Kick option.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So I'm kind of just waiting to see if they're going to include the Kick option for Streamlabs OBS.
Yeah, I saw this post, and I don't remember who it was, talking about how Twitch has driven so many people away, and they're basically on their knees now begging people to stay. Like, please don't go, because they've seen, like, I saw the CEO of Kick, or one of the Kick people, they had, I think it was Friday, they had a 200% increase in signups for Kick for just accounts, which is huge. I mean, I don't know what that number is. Maybe it's 1,000 to 2,000, but that's still a huge amount of people. Like, that's a lot to actually go over and to make an account on another service. I mean, it really in reality takes like 3 minutes, but that's something. Like, that is people. That's a good amount of people that are sick of the garbage that Twitch does.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, you can't even multi-stream on Twitch anymore.
Yeah.
Like Ninja, like he said something along the lines of like, why would I want to stream just to one platform when I can stream to like 20 different platforms?
Yeah.
And I don't have to be on Twitch to do so.
Right. Yeah, because I think he always has like a TikTok stream in the background too. And which like
I don't watch Ninja per se, but like I understand like you can make money doing one thing, but you can also do it doing 20 other things too.
Yeah.
And like he doesn't even make money on Twitch from what he said. So why would he choose to make money on like not make money on one and make money on, like you said, like 20 different other ones? So
I mean, like I've seen people like switch to YouTube streams because of Twitch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like people are going back to YouTube. Like Greg FPS is going back to YouTube streaming.
Oh, is he really?
Like he made a poll of like, if Twitch flops or some shit like that, would I go to YouTube streaming or would I go to Kick? And like the majority of it was YouTube.
Oh.
I picked Kick, but like honestly, anything would be better than Twitch at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an affiliate on Twitch, but like, I feel like that means kind of nothing at this point.
Speaking of affiliate, and maybe it's a partnership, I don't know. But now, if you cancel your like affiliate or partnership, you get fined like what is it, like $25?
$25. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a $25 exit fee of your agreement on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Which I saw, and I don't know how they actually do this, but I saw the CEO of Kick or whoever it was, they were saying, "We will pay your $25 fee to come over to Kick."
That's funny.
Yeah, so you guys probably got this about me now. I love boycotts, man. I love when people just are like, "I'm so sick of your shit. Mm-hmm. I'm so sick of it, Activision. I'm so sick of it, Twitch." When in reality, like, they're these mega companies that make billions of dollars a year, and it's crazy to me that people's jobs are on the line. I understand that, but like, and Riley, I sent you, it was like a week or two ago, it was a total COD fanboy apologist. Do you remember that? He was basically, I don't remember how he said it, but he was basically just like kissing the boot of Call of Duty or Activision. Do you remember that? I sent it to you. It was like, it's been a couple of weeks, so I understand if you don't. But
no,
you have these apologists for these big companies, and I know people are like that about Twitch. Like, people love Twitch, which I do too. I think Twitch started as such a cool thing, but where it's at now, like, it's such a joke.
There we go. Okay.
There you go. But no, I am all for people migrating off of Twitch. Like, I think, and I think I said this, and maybe I said it to you or someone else, but Twitch showed their hand. Like, they really showed, like, we do not care about our streamers, and we are here to screw you over. Like, we want all your money. We want our hand in your pot.
It makes you wonder why they're even a website to begin with at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, they're basically scamming people just to stream on their platform.
Yeah. And when we talked about the Kick thing last time, about like Kick allows maybe more than they should, but I mean, if they're going to allow it, then why not? And I've said for a long time, why doesn't Twitch just go all the way? I know they'll lose advertisers, but just let people stream what they want to at this point, because you're not stopping kids from going to the other adult websites. Like, there's nothing stopping kids from doing that. But no, I think YouTube for like, what was it, like 3 or 4 years ago, they had YouTube gaming, which they just killed. Like, it was so stupid. I think if YouTube would have pursued that more, like, they could be bigger than Twitch right now, because YouTube is more discoverable than Twitch. Like, it's better in every way than Twitch. If they would just add these features, maybe you need to start a separate service like YouTube Live or whatever. I don't know, because I know there's like the programming behind it is crazy, behind YouTube and like the streaming, and I know there's a lot of programming that goes into it, but YouTube was dumb in my books for not capitalizing on that when they could have, and they're doing better. But look at, like, if they were in that situation now, like if they were in the situation to take over completely from Twitch, like they could have killed Twitch right now. But so do you gentlemen think that Kick is going to be the Twitch killer? Do you think it'll stick around?
So.
Yeah,
I think so. I mean, like, it also depends. Like, it also depends how Kick runs their company as well. Like they're basically a brand new company too. So like, you got to take that into consideration. Like, they're probably like trying to, like, hey, we got to tweak these guidelines. We got to, like, probably enforce some rules, but like, at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be as horrendous as how Twitch runs their platform. I mean, like, I know, like, we've talked about Activision and Twitch, like, just, like, completely just messing up everything, basically, for them, their own companies, for, like, it's basically money at this point. Like no one, like anybody that knows Activision or Twitch, it's just like money and money. Like, you would think like Mr. Krabs works at both companies at the same time.
He's the CEO of both.
Yeah.
Plot twist: SpongeBob was all a ruse.
It's all true.
Yeah, I've never liked Twitch, just simply because of how many ads that I get. So F 'em, dude.
Yeah, I think Twitch definitely for a long time held in gamers' hearts, most gamers, certain like place. Like, you go to Twitch if you want to watch Dr. Disrespect or Ninja or like this big event, or like, there's such a community, and I hear people talking about the Twitch community. Well, it's just a big drama pit now. Like, all it is the biggest people on there are just talking shit on all the other big people. That's all that really it is. You got XQC and Hassan and, maybe a couple of other people that just talk, crap on everyone else. And then you've got like Shroud, the actual gamers that are actually doing gamer stuff. But I think the glory days of Twitch was 7-8 years ago, and they've gone downhill ever since.
I mean, like back then it was like strictly only gaming.
Yeah.
Like, there was no like IRL streaming, there was no like hot tub streamers, which honestly like in my opinion, I don't mind the IRL streams or like the just chatting streams or like the music streams, because honestly, they're like, you can make an argument saying like, they're watching games or like watching like the game awards, or they're watching like they're reacting to like soundtracks from certain games, but like there's really no need for the hot tub streams, in my opinion. Like there's no point for them to exist on Twitch. Like, if you want to see that, go to Pornhub.
Yep.
Yeah.
Turn on Cognito, go to Pornhub if you want to see a hot tub streamer, but like e-girls are just weird, man.
Yeah.
You think of Twitch and you think like the company that has like the most, like the least double standards of like any, or like the most double standard platform ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Like, for a long time, it used to upset me, like the hot tub streams and all that stuff. But now I'm just like, whatever. Like, I don't see what separates Twitch from, the hub. Like, I really don't. Mm-hmm. The only thing is the hub shows, full nudity. But even Twitch sometimes, as we talked about, even Twitch sometimes shows that in Ninja's background, trying to ruin his reputation.
there's no restriction on the hub. You just got to show up and turn on the camera.
Yep. And like at a business point, like I don't know why Twitch isn't there. Like I see them as the same. Like, and I think we talked about this, Riley. Twitch is the gateway drug to the hub.
Mm-hmm.
They, I don't want to say exactly, but it's a pipeline. You get these people, they get on there, they realize, oh, there's quite a bit of money to showing off my body. And then they see how much money there actually is in showing off your body. And, they've got them from there. They've already got their hooks in them. There's no getting them back at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And Skull, talking about the double standards, I remember, I don't know what year it was. It was probably like 2017, 2018. Do you remember when Twitch had clothing guidelines? You guys remember that?
I thought they always had clothing guidelines, but for some reason they were like, if someone had like the same exact amount of clothing on, like one person would get banned, but the other wouldn't. And you're like, what in the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
Why not just ban both of them, or just don't do anything? Because like they're literally wearing the same thing, or it's like someone says one thing and someone says another thing, but someone gets banned while the other one does not. Like it's a mess. It's a mess for double standards.
Yeah, no, like I've already established, I hate corporations that do that. Activision is a good example, but Twitch is another. They used to push their clothing guidelines, like no revealing, no like deep V's in your shirts and stuff like this, until they realized how much money there was in it. Until they realized how many subs a month, Amaranth gets. Or she's the only one I can name off the top of my head because she's the most well known. But like, there's so many of them. You open up the pools, hot tubs, and swimming. I don't know what the category is. I know it's pools and hot tubs, and all you see. And me and Riley have talked about this too, Skully. So Riley, I'm going back on a tangent. But all you see is younger women who are better looking, and they're using that to their advantage, which good for them. That's good old capitalism right there. Good for them. But that's all it is. And I think they just realized, wow, we can make so much money. We just have to enforce this in certain areas, but not in other areas. And so I'm so sick of it. I'm all for Kick being the streaming platform. And I know Rumble's getting up there too. I know a lot of people are switching over to Rumble. I think Rumble's more like for video, but I think they also have like they're adding a live thing. It's becoming more and more. So
Rumble has the same like look as YouTube, but it has like a Twitch feel to it.
Yeah.
That's where Andrew Tate is. So if you're a tater tot out there, that's where you want to go.
Tater potato.
Uh-huh. So yeah, I don't have much thoughts about Twitch because I never really used it much. But
I will say, I think Twitch, what they did, and again, it's it's the fat cat at the top. It's the CEO that's making all the money. They sold their brand out for money, and I don't think. And Activision has done the same thing with Call of Duty and every title they have. Yeah, we talked about that. Which I had more thoughts on it, but we don't need to go into it again. But it's the guy at the top that ruins everything, and Twitch is no different. You can say it's Bezos or whoever is the actual CEO of Twitch. I'm not sure, but I just don't get it, dude. I don't get how you get Amazon, which is very, like, I would say consumer friendly, being owned by the same person, and Twitch screwing everyone over. Like, I don't understand that, but
yeah,
it's very anti-consumer activity, and I am perfectly fine to see Twitch die.
At this point, same.
Which maybe I'm part of the problem. I'm so hateful right now, but but I will say, do you guys think that, because I would say as online people, I would say you are more exposed to it. Like if you're on Twitter a lot as a content creator, you see people complaining about, Activision and Twitch and all this stuff. But do you think that the everyday man is kind of getting the same way with these companies?
I feel like if you knew that a company was like a game company had problems keeping like everyone's IP safe from people that can potentially expose their IP and like dox them and do all sorts of nasty things like boot them offline and just like make their lives a living hell for no reason. Any normal person would look at that and go like, why would I buy anything from this company when they can't even get their security in line and protect the people that are actually playing their games or like on the consoles that they're playing too? Like it's Activision is like a mess when it comes to just like there's just like no way around it. Activision would rather see people's IP exposed than actually fix the problem. I mean, look on BO3. Like they like literally pirate movies. People are pirating movies on BO3, and they're okay with like cease and desisting valid, solid, safe Call of Duty clients. But when it comes to piracy, someone else's piracy, like movies, they're like that one meme where like he's asleep and then all of a sudden Call of Duty client and he's like awake. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're quick to cease and desist, but they're like they just run a company poorly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I said it to Lex. Replied to Lex on one of his on one of his tweets is like, Activision is like a tutorial of how not to run a company, or like a training guide how not to run a company.
I agree with that.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, so Skully, we've kind of I feel like I've kind of got us up onto some tangents here, and I apologize to both of you, but since you're here, we both in the first episode kind of talked about our origin story on the internet. Would you care to comment on your origin of getting onto zombies and streaming and YouTube, and what's your story, man?
So like I was like aware of like YouTube and like Twitch like way before I even like started doing what I like streaming and stuff. So like I watched like Vanoss and like those guys growing up. I've watched what's it called, Game Grumps, like watching those guys. But like I haven't like at that time I wasn't thinking I could really like go live on YouTube right now and like stream to a lot of people. Like that didn't cross my mind, and like I was like in grade 8 or 7, 7 or 8, 9 at that time. So I was like, that's not on the top of my head at the moment. But like the first very time I went live was like when IW came out. I think my very first stream was on Spaceland. That was like my very first like stream like on any kind of platform, anything. And I went into thinking like as soon as I went live, my chat would be full like that. That was my mistake, because now I realized that I still only get me watching in the chat in my streams.
Yeah.
But like I think I started playing zombies about 2010 when Black Ops 1 came out. And on my first zombies map was 5, believe it or not. So like all the way back in 2010, little old me was playing 5. Scared shitless because I didn't know Call of Duty had zombies at that point. I didn't even know World at War existed, to be quite honest, because I wasn't much of like a gaming kid at the time. Like I wouldn't say that, but like I definitely paced myself better back when I was a kid, because now I'm just sitting here on my computer, just like doing whatever. I don't know, but like IW Zombies on the PS4 was like my first first ever streaming to the world, I guess. And I think it was on YouTube, because I thought it would be a lot easier to get viewers on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Now you said the most real thing I think I've ever heard is when everyone starts, they expect their chat to just be blown up, and it's not like
honestly, I was kind of scared, because I was like, what if I just start and everyone file in? And I was like, holy fuck, what do I do now? but like I'm kind of glad that it doesn't like do that, because when I started streaming, it was just like IW Zombies for like a little bit. Then I think I streamed some Mafia 3 at some point. Then I think I just primarily just started streaming Zombies, because like at that time it was the only thing that I was like into streaming, and I was average at best at the game anyway. So it's like anybody stopping by looks like you're really good at Zombies. I'm like, thanks, man. Like It's basically a small conversation like that.
Yeah.
And I think also at some point I started like making like my own thumbnails for some of the streams. I deleted all of those, because like I'm starting like brand new and fresh with my channel. Well, like for SOE, I did an SOE stream one time, and I had like a bootlegger gun just like on the side. Yeah, it was like, I feel like I was more creative back then than I am now, if I'm being honest. But yeah, that's my origin story for content creation.
Wow, that's awesome. I love hearing how people got started on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Now, so are those streams going to return? Do you have a game plan for content creation these days?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, like we're like I said, like this whole podcast, I'm in like a little group now with like Justin, and I don't know if you know him, Hibs.
Hibs?
If you know him,
Yeah.
Me and a couple of our boys are actually like, we got like a little gaming channel going on right now.
Oh.
So like we actually got a few videos posted up now, actually, and or like there's like 10 or 12 of us doing that one channel, and like honestly, like it's a lot of fun because like you get different people doing different things. It's called The Den. That's the YouTube channel.
Gotcha.
And like it's me, Justin, Hives. We got a lot of people. Kiernan, like TCC, James, Lucas. We got a lot of people that are just like really chill. And we got like there's a couple tweet videos. There's a zombie map bracket video. 2 of those actually. Well, I'm not sure if the other one's out yet, but it's like we did one with me, Justin, Casey, someone, and honestly, like we just it's fun. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
But like sometimes I'm thinking about just streaming like World at War at some point. For me, it's like mostly still zombies, but
yeah. So is there so people can go check it out? Is there a good way to find it on YouTube? Because I searched it and I didn't find a channel for The Den.
Hold on, I can like link the channel because I'm like subscribed to it, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'll just like link the channel.
That way, people watching this can go check it out, see what you guys got going on.
Oh yeah, like we only just started the channel too, so it's like there's like 5 videos.
Okay.
So like it's not much to go off of, but
we'll be sure to put you in the description of this.
And honestly, we do a podcast sometimes there as well, but like I said, we only just started the channel and we only have like 1 podcast.
Okay.
So basically the idea is like 1 podcast every like 2 to 4 weeks, basically.
Okay.
So it's not like every week there's a podcast, but like every 2 weeks or so we'll have a podcast, just like talk about current events or like past couple weeks or stuff like that. But mostly it's just been like gaming. Like we just released a Cardiac Phone video. We got different ideas, so like there's going to be different kinds of videos coming out on that channel.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and then also awesome, Skullbasher 935. That's me. Go subscribe and follow me.
Right. Ding straight.
All right. Well, Skullbasher. I don't know if you watched last week's episode, but me and Cal threw the idea. Well, it was mostly Cal threw the idea that you should make a Fall Guys map tier list.
Jesus. I'm gonna put all of them in F. with the only exception being like I don't know, Fall Melting, because I've won on that twice now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely want to do we want to branch out our content here. We'd love to have you back on, and if you want to talk about all those, that would be, I think that would be great fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could talk about Fall Guys, but I need to go to a therapy session first.
All right. Well, we don't want to send you to therapy.
No, it's okay. Fall Guys is going to do that to me anyway. No, I don't really hate the game. It's just like stupid bullshit that happens. But that's with any game, so it's like, oh well.
Yeah, I think it's like probably the best example of just open chaos in a game. You have all these people just running towards one objective, and it just is chaotic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that you wanted to go over, Cal?
You know, I took it all out on Activision and Twitch. I don't really have much else to say. I I'm already fighting a cold here, and like I can barely talk as it is. So I think I'm good. I'm just gonna say, as always, at the end of every couch co-op, screw Activision, boycott them, and Twitch to the fullest degree.
Yes,
I
sir.
hate them. I don't want to see anybody. I will be so disappointed if anyone I know buys Call of Duty 2023.
Yeah.
Instant disown.
The only way I'm going to buy it is if the gameplay is actually decent and it doesn't look like dog shit.
Supposedly, it's gonna have Outbreak.
No, because like the thing with me, right? Vanguard was like the worst Call of Duty purchase I've ever made in my life.
Yeah.
And like I bought it because I was kind of hoping that the zombies wasn't going to be that terrible, but holy fuck. That Vanguard was pretty much the deciding factor for me for like you gotta like really like not spend your money on Call of Duty all the time.
Yeah.
You can't just pre-order a game based off of like a trailer. You gotta see actual gameplay of what you're buying, basically.
Right, because they sold the zombies on that as like this really amazing prequel to everything that happened in Cold War zombies. Like they sold it as like this amazing wrapped package, and what we got was just a snooze fest. Like it was terrible.
I would not have been disappointed if Vanguard Zombies just took like after the Cold War ending, like it just like carried on from that. But what did we get? Outbreak, remake. Like they literally reskinned a map, Terra Maledicta, to the Archon. They just gave it a different fucking color.
Yeah.
It, honestly, and we said this on here, it was just camo skin grinder zombies. Like that's all it was. Throw zombies in there and let people grind their camos. That's all it was.
I mean, like you look at like Revelations, right? It had like Origins for Horizon Rack, even though that was already on Black Ops 3, but like it was already a well-respected map at the time anyway.
Yeah.
But like they didn't like Terra Maledicta is literally the Archon is basically just Terra Maledicta. It's basically Terra Maledicta. They didn't change anything with it. They didn't do anything with it other than change the color. That's all they did, was change the color.
Yeah, it just makes me think that they put like maybe a group of like 5 developers on this project. They're like, just like here's the assets to some zombies. Just like throw them in there. Like people just want to shoot zombies in Call of Duty. That's all they want. Like that's honestly, I don't think it had more development than that.
Honestly, the best map in that entire game was Shino Numa.
Yeah.
That's the only time Shino Numa was actually better than any other map on the game, on the COD zombie game.
Oh.
All right. Well, if you're ready to call it,
I think so.
yeah.
I mean, Skully, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Call of Duty 2023, cease and desist. Let's go.
Cease and desist these nuts, Activision.
Rated E for everybody.
Yeah. All right.
No, I think I'm good.
All right.
My Activision urge is subsided for now.
Well, I must say one positive thing. No game release disasters this week anyway release. So yeah, that's been nice.
Can I say one thing? Sorry, I know I just popped into my mind. You'll never guess. Starfield trailer released and everybody thinks it's going to be the greatest thing ever. Can you believe it?
Oh my god.
Don't believe anything until you see gameplay.
Dude, I do not trust Bethesda. I just don't. I'm not gonna get into that because that's gonna take like an hour. But no, it's
I know I'm just derailing everything tonight. So no, I had to get that in there.
We can get to Starfield next week, but yeah, it's been an amazing episode, jam packed, and I think this is our longest episode running at 100. I I almost said 150 minutes at 1 hour and 49 minutes. So, yeah, that's where we're at now. Thank you, School Basher, for joining us. It's been an awesome time.
Seriously, thanks.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
I will be looking forward to another invite to this podcast at
Definitely.
some point.
Definitely.
100%. You can count on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We will use you however we can. So.
Although, just for next time, let's try to keep it off Activision and Twitch. So I would like to have a positive experience.
I
time.
can't make any promises, man. They gotta stop screwing shit up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to blame you if you want to talk about it. But oh my god, the amount of times I hear Activision, I see Activision on Twitter trending. Holy fuck.
We will have the most wholesome conversation on the internet next time you're here. I promise.
Oh yeah, it's all going to be roses, butterflies, and rainbows, right? Sunshine.
We'll find something good to talk about.
Roses, butterflies, rainbows, and seesaws. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you for all the support on the previous episodes. We'll see you next week.
Bye.